How's it going, everybody? Hope you're all enjoying the Fall Cup Regional 2 for Europe. It's been pretty crazy. I mean, you're talking top 8 right now. Vitality made it. Oxygen did not. That's all I need to really say to tell you about how the craziness. Geary's in it. Like, nuts. So, hope you're all enjoying that. Obviously, this video is coming out in the afternoon, so the quarterfinals have played. Curious on what the top 4 is. Pretty exciting stuff. But we've got some news to tell you guys about just as an all-encompassing in the Rocket League scene and some things I can provide some explanation on. Particularly about the Esports Awards. A lot of people really confused on how those things come to be. A little bit of drama. Should be a lot of fun. So, first things first, one that many are aware of, but haven't talked about it yet, is Rule 1. Obviously, Sunless Khan and Civic have joined partnerships to get into RLCS. Had an interview with them. If you guys haven't seen the interview, go back and check it out. We sat down and talked with Sunless about kind of their future plans. And one of the things they discussed is the intent to get into Rocket League with a pretty big purpose. I don't think people realized how quickly that was going to be, because literally like a couple days after, they announced that they have picked up KRN. If you guys do not know KRN, they are arguably one of the top 2, potentially top 3 teams in the MENA region, which makes sense with Civic's history. And even outside of that, if you look at all the teams that are available to be picked up, KRN is the team that has the best chance, I think, of not only making the major, but also having a high quality of competition when they go to international events, stuff like that, if MENA does end up securing 2 spots for their region. So Rule 1, I think, looks pretty dang good. Now, that is RW9, also known as Rawas, Clears, and Nader. Or Nader? We're going to go with Nader. That's how they make their names. Clears is K, Rawas is R, and Nader is N. KRN, now Rule 1. So congratulations to them. Cresper, also their coach, joining in. Cool to see what that is going to look like, if they can get decals a game, all that kind of stuff. But Rule 1 enters RLCS already for the MENA region. There's a tiebreaker for them coming on actually today, I'm pretty sure, when this video comes out. There's a MENA tiebreaker for their bottom 2 to see who ends up making it into the top 16 for their Invitational. Also, speaking of players and additions, we got to talk about subtractions on the other side, and it is for ViolentPanda. If you guys know ViolentPanda, he's been after this for about 6 years. And does put out an announcement saying the time has come, that he is officially retiring. Says, after 6 years of competing, accomplished everything I could ever want as a player, winning small events to becoming a world champion. Multiple times, by the way. One of the few to do that, obviously, with the Gale Force Dignitas roster. Says, thanks to all the fans and stuff. And after 6 years of doing this, gonna try to look for coaching and managing positions in the scene. Also open to new opportunities. He and I talked about this a lot. Obviously, there's been a lot of personal things that he's been going through and kind of discussing, but the big one is that he's kind of excited. The fact that it's a new opportunity. He's never felt better, and it feels good, in his words, to have a new goal. So I think he's excited to start focusing on those next steps, whatever they may be, but I wish him the best of luck. Also going around the scene, Rizzo continues to do the Regain tournaments. If you guys don't know what these are, basically it is tournaments for teams that are ranked outside of the top 16, teams that are ranked 17 to like 32 or 24, whatever it is. He has 4 groups of 4, so 32. They end up playing those 16 teams into a single elimination bracket for teams that are not currently in the RLCS in the main event. It gives them a tournament during the off time to play in, which is awesome. I think this is the second one he's done. The reason why I bring up this tournament is because there is 2 teams in particular to keep your eye on and pay attention to. There is 3 in particular that are playing in the tiebreaker for North America. Last Wednesday, 26 Rising, Flashes of Brilliance, which is the former Nefarious team that got picked up, and LAWL were playing to see who the 2 are going to be in their tiebreaker. 26 Rising did not play Regain. LAWL and Flashes of Brilliance did. Flashes of Brilliance went 2-0 in their group and making it into the semifinals before losing in 5 to Exet. And LAWL actually didn't make it out of the group. They went 1-2 with a -3 game differential, so we didn't see them. We thought that was going to be kind of an early look and early practice of how things went. And according to what my predictions were originally going to be, while I do think Flashes of Brilliance has a really high ceiling, nerves and stuff tend to get to them. So 26 Rising does end up winning in the first match. They go on and qualify for the main event. Then you had LAWL and Flashes of Brilliance in the lower bracket. After Flashes of Brilliance takes a loss, they then try to bounce back. It does look pretty convincing, I will say, from LAWL at the beginning. Flashes of Brilliance start to make a comeback, and then LAWL ends it. I think Knight hits like a double touch and OT to close it out. So pretty exciting stuff. So 26 Rising and LAWL end up winning, and that then allows us to figure out the seeding for the Fall Cup Invitational. So we have the Invitational matches. Fall Cup is obviously this weekend. Next weekend is the 3rd and final regional for NA. So we have the Fall Invitational for North America. And if you guys didn't see my tweet, here it is. This is the information. It's pretty straightforward on how these seedings work. First, it goes by overall points. And from there, because we are going from the top 16, there is no outside sources, no other tournaments we have to be aware of. The only tiebreaker that matters is overall RLCS points, 3 most recent events. So everybody, you calculate all their 2 most recent events, and that's what I have for the point totals. The overall looks a little bit different because it's taking also the points into account. The teams that have already qualified for like the fall invitational, or not the fall, the winter invitational, the winter open, the fall major, those events that they guarantee points already. So that's how those overall points come into be. But if you look at NA Regional 1 and NA Regional 2, add those together, then it gives you a point totals. The third tiebreaker is most recent event, including qualifiers and main events and majors. So for example, both V1 and FaZe have the same amount of points, but because V1 won the most recent event and FaZe did not, V1 gets the high seed. So you just take whatever number is in the furthest bracket to the right, whatever one is higher when they're tied with points. Complexity and Shopify is a prime example. You can also look at Furia Optic. Those point totals that are higher apply. And then you keep doing that all the way back until you get to a point where it ends up being a tiebreaker. So that's what I have. And then right below that, it also has the first round matchups. These have not been officially announced yet, but with the way that things apply based upon the tiebreakers, these are unofficial, but they look pretty accurate to me. Last but certainly not least, if you guys didn't see it, the Esports Awards has announced some of the notable favorites in our space. There's quite a few pros: Jan, Seikoo, Vatira. You've also got some casters. You've got Jorby, JamesBot, Wavepunk as host of the year. You've also got Gregan, and these have provided some pretty interesting moments. So I'm going to talk about how these things come to be, and then I'm also going to tell you guys some of the fun that we got out of it on social medias. For those that are unaware, the Esports Awards is done by a committee. I am one of those people in that panel. I advocate as the representative for Rocket League. A lot of times there's a collective of people that watch and understand Rocket League, but we all come together and come to a consensus of people that we think should be put forward based upon the merits and the accolades they've made throughout the year. I do that for Rocket League. I help with Apex. I help with a couple others. But there is a massive collective of people that come in and try to provide that knowledge. And then we as a collective vote along with the community. So during these conversations, we expressed some of those things. And you talk about players for controller players of the year and rookies of the year. You got people like Seikoo and Vatira. You've also got Monkey Moon, who's PC player of the year or controller player of the year and stuff. Jorby's a great play-by-play. James has been fantastic at color with the events that he's done over the last year. And then Gregan, I think, was a great addition to the desk, and there was advocation for that as well. This led to some funny things. The first one being Esports Awards. The finalists for Esports Desk Analyst of the Year presented by AimLab are, and it has a list of names, Gregan being one of them. And Gregan decides to reply to that, "Hey, RL Esports," being like, not worth the budget, but these people think that I'm one of the best at my job out of every esport. Kind of weird, huh? To which, again, a bunch of impressions happen. Pretty crazy stuff. There's been Reddit threads about it, this and that. Not sure if I agree with Gregan doing that, because, again, what happens if in the future they get more budget, they want to bring you back? This kind of stuff can be held against you. So hopefully that's not the case, but hopefully the value shows. And the other one, which I think was pretty funny, is they did announce Esports Controller Rookie of the Year. Vatira retweets it, says, "Vote for me, it's not even close." Seikoo puts a grimacing face, and then they go back and forth and provide some really funny moments. I'll let you guys look at that for yourselves. The link is in the description. Either way, the reason I bring this up, if you guys go to esportsawards.com/vote, go vote for the Rocket League community members that you want to see win. Go support our community. Again, it is a constant conversation that I'm trying to push Rocket League into the limelight. I started doing this about 2 years ago to give Rocket League some better representation. I also have to remove myself from the voting process because I am directly involved and it can benefit me. It's a conflict of interest for some of these topics. But that is how they come to be. It is a panel and a collective of people that try to talk and express about certain things. So it's not just me. There's a bunch of others in there as well. So pretty cool stuff. But that is also part of the reason why Rocket League Esports almost won Esport of the Year last year. It took second. It's because of the circuit-based system and what Rocket League accomplished. Probably would have won Esport of the Year if it was done in person, while League of Legends took it because League of Legends continues to dominate even through COVID. So again, go vote for those esports. Go vote for those titles. It does a lot for the game. It puts a lot of eyes on it. So again, pretty crazy stuff. But again, that is your Rocket League news for the week. Hopefully that helps provide some context and some information. As always, if you guys do enjoy the content, like, subscribe, notifications. Any questions, comments, concerns, let me know down below. Links to everything in the description I talked about. I'll see you in the next video, and hopefully we'll see you for some pretty interesting stuff in chat when it comes to the craziness that is EU this weekend. Peace.